Hey, welcome back to the homestead. Down here in the raised bed gardens, kind of middle of the day, so the sun's kind of right overhead. But I gotta do this now. So I'm gonna harvest some Serrano peppers and then ferment them for later use. So let's check it out. So here's the pepper patch. Some of them have done better than others. That's like a bell pepper there. Another bell pepper. Let's see. Bell pepper here, that's real small, it just didn't really take off. And then here's the Serranos. They've really gone nuts, so much that these branches are being weighed down with peppers, so I'm going to pick some of those off to alleviate that. And then we got over here, we got an Ancho Gigante, or also known Poblano. And let's see, what was that? Same thing, Poblano here. So these are okay. I mean, that can get bigger, I think, but you could eat it like that too. Over here you've got a golden bell. Not really doing amazing, but let's see, there's a bell pepper. There's a couple others. And over here, this is a jalapeno. So these are doing great. Jalapenos are nice because they're mild, so you can just cook with them in a lot of different things, where Serranos are definitely hotter. And then we've got the another Ancho Poblano, same thing. And then the two started from seed, they're just not really taking off. Maybe I could hit them with some more fertilizer, fish emulsion, something like that. Here we go, time to harvest. I've got scissors so that I can cut them off. I don't rip the plant and hurt the plant. So I'll just start cutting them off and then pick them up and put them in. Make sure to not cut too much of that branch off. There we go. We'll go over here because that really weighted down over here. So even though some of these aren't huge, we'll just take them anyways. Maybe more nitrogen would help this thing stand up a little better. So let's see what's left there. This branch here, and it's still weighed down, and there's not really any big ones left. But I guess I'll just leave that alone. Maybe I'll stake that up or something. Let's see, we'll take one more off that branch. Get rid of you. Let's come over here. We'll cut off this big one. There it is. Look how big that one is. Come on now. I'm trying to film while doing this. Annoying. There we go. Alright, we'll cut you off. And you. And you. Alright, let's switch to the other side. Okay, made it to the other side, but now this shadow kind of blocking, so that one's hanging down with some pretty good sized ones. So we'll take some of those out without hacking into the branch there. Come on. Alright, we'll go a different angle. Got it. Wow, look at this branch. Completely weighed down to the ground with peppers sitting on the ground. So we're going to take basically all those off. One. Get you. Get you. Oh, it's starting to lift up. That's good. Get you. And it's come back up. Yeah, so that branch sprung up. It's off the ground now. And these plants all have been given a lot of nitrogen. You can see how dark these leaves are, so they're pretty sturdy. We got another one on the ground over here. Some in the center. I'll probably leave some in the center so you can maybe make some more fresh salsa. But yeah, I'm gonna get the rest of these cut off, and then we're gonna head inside and ferment these. Oh look, there's some more blooms there, so we're gonna get even more coming up. So this is awesome. All right, so there's our harvest. It's about a pint glass, or a pint-sized ball jar full. So we'll dice these up. I'll show you how I do that. That's the next step, and then we'll be ready. All right, so I've washed them and cut all the stems and tops off so they're clean. Now I'm taking each one, splitting it in half, and then what you're going to do is take a knife or some instrument and clear out all the pith and the seeds. So basically all the white stuff and the seeds, or the seeds aren't as important, but you need to get the white stuff out because you don't want any air pockets, otherwise your ferment will go bad. So there's one ready to go. Do the other half of that. Just kind of scoop it out carefully with the knife, or you can use another instrument if you'd like. Get that out. Get most of those seeds out. Set that aside. So I'm going to do all those, and then we'll see what it looks like. All right, so I got these all sliced.
Yeah.
And the pith out. So that's what they look like now. And there's the scrap pile. There's the peppers now. So ready to go. Just a quick tip. If you're super sensitive to heat and you're doing Serranos, maybe wear gloves. Wasn't a problem for me. There was a few times where a little fingernail felt a little burned, but not too bad. If you're doing anything spicier than Serranos, like habaneros, or just anything a little bit hotter than these, I recommend wearing gloves. Habaneros especially can get really crazy. So these are ready to go in the jar. So we'll fit them all in and see how that fits, and we'll go to the next step.
And we'll put tomatillos in them, maybe.
And part of why I left these just as a cut in half size is that'll make it easier to portion them out when I make salsa, because the recipes I use usually go in either at a half or 1.5 or 2.5. So this will be easy to dose, I guess. But you can also slice them, instead of long way, you could slice them short way and have little diced peppers. So that's another way to do it. And yeah, so a good amount of the seeds fell out, but there's definitely some still in there too. So that'll be interesting to note how that affects the flavor and heat profile, because as we all know, the seeds are pretty much what gives it a lot of the heat. So that's the last little handful. Grab this one and give it a rinse. It's on the counter and put it back in. Alright, so there's our jar, and it came out pretty much close to perfect. So it's not packed in crazy hard, and it's filled like an inch from the bottom of the top basically. So now we're gonna get our brine ready. Okay, so now we're gonna mix up our brine. 3 tablespoons of salt per quart. So 1. Oops, 2, that was a big one. A little smaller on the next one. 3 tablespoons per quart. So to make it easy, we're just using a quart jar here. Fill it up to that line there, 4 cups. That'll be a quart. And of course, we're not going to use it all, but it's just easier to get the ratio. So now we're going to add about room temperature water. All right, so we've got our brine now. Salt's fully dissolved in there, and it's like not even warm. It's like probably 60, 70 degree water, so don't really use warm. I'm just gonna pour it in. So that's about to the top. Try and shake any bubbles out. They've floated up a little. You can see there's a little gap at the bottom. I'll deal with that in a minute here, but first I can take this and just kind of poke in there. See if we can get all the bubbles out if there are any.
Or maybe we should get that gap down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try again.
Alright, so now what we're going to do last is we've got a pickling weight here, and we're just going to, oops, wrong size. Alright, so we'll change of plans here. I thought we had the right stones to hold these down, but we don't. They're for the large size, so we're going to dump it into there. There we go. All right, so because there's extra room, well, you do this anyways, you need something between the weight and the ferment down there. So I've got 2 grape leaves off the grapevines out there. Just gonna kind of fold them over, put them down at the weight there. And so they act as kind of a buffer. So that works. So there's a buffer now between the surface and the veggies. You don't want any oxygen touching the veggies. That can make your ferment go bad. So we are good to go. Now we just need a lid for it. All right, so the last thing is putting our lid on. And that's good, nice and tight. And it's not as aesthetic as having it all the way filled to the top, but it does the same purpose. So that's it. We have these, they'll start fermenting. We're gonna check it each day. Open the lid, let a little air out because it will pressurize up air. So that's it. Now we'll have a huge batch of Serranos for salsa and other uses long after our plant harvest has finished. So there we go. So that's it for now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're not already, so you can stay tuned for upcoming videos like a salsa recipe for how you can make some of these peppers into some really good salsas. So thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.
Do you see me?